Bada boom, bada bang, bada bop. You might be a sicko if you could tell what those two outsoles were, what the shoes were, just from the outsoles. Let me give you one more. Bada bippy. If you could tell what the bada bippy was, you have serious problems. And you know what? If you have serious problems, this is my new marketing pitch for the Supwell app. It's not about saving money. It's not about the best hobby jogger community out there. It's not even about getting access to the best gosh dang running shoe marketplace in the world. It's about getting help. If you have an addiction for running shoes, if you have a problem just piling up shoes, come and join the app. And you think I'm gonna say, oh, because you can connect with other people? No, it's because you can offload. You can offload. I always talk about it's the best place to find deals, but it's also the best place to get rid of the shoes and maybe give some other people deals, or at least get your partner, your domestic romantic partner, get them off your back. And here's the thing. If you want to buy a new shoe and you can't because you've been buying too many shoes, just sell 3 or 4 on the Supwell app. Even if you're losing money, that's fine. You're gaining love credits so that you can accumulate more. So your partner is just gonna see, okay, he sold 3 shoes in the past week. That's good. Now you're allowed to buy another new shoe. That's the way you gotta think about it. So come in and join the app. Not only is it the best place to find running shoe deals, it's the best place to liquidate your assets to make room for more carbon, more PIBA, and more stack. Enjoy today's video. Coming down crazy today, man. This is what we used to call raining cats and dogs. Of course, as soon as I come out here, it starts raining again. You know, it's funny. Somebody asked me, I don't know if it was an ask or an accusation, but it was something along the lines of, would you be running every day without the YouTube channel? And I used to run 80 miles a week before I even started this channel. Would I be standing in the street talking to my mailbox getting rained on without this YouTube channel? No, definitely not. And we're just gonna see how far we can go before we get rained out here. And this camera is also getting rained out, but it is gonna be raining all week, so I thought I would put together a video on my 5 favorite rainy day shoes. And I'm actually gonna go back, run up, and grab some sort of dry thing for the camera so it doesn't get wrecked. Hold on. Oh man, this is an emergency. There we go. That's the camera. That's me. Look at that. My 5 favorite running shoes for rainy days. Why don't you just go inside? I don't have a place to film inside. I've talked about this. I'm thinking of investing in a setup because it's either I just stop doing this or I figure out a way to do it inside. All right, number 1. And so it's gonna be raining all week. The reason I wanted to do this was because these are some of my shoes for rainy days, not just inside or not. What the heck? That's really loud. It's a Mint Hill Public Works truck. I'm not just a complete fool, by the way. I came out here because the rain stopped, and then when I came back out here, it was going. But my favorite shoes for rainy days, so we're gonna kick it off with the Puma Mag Max. This is one of my favorite shoes of all time, but what makes this such a rainy day champion is the Puma grip. So as I was saying, some of these shoes are great for running outdoors on rainy days and give us some additional capability for handling the wet weather. And then one of these shoes that I picked, actually a few of them, are great for the treadmill, but this one is awesome for crushing mileage outside. You guys have heard me talk about this thing. It's past 200 miles now. One of my favorite training shoes of all time. Lots of cushion, lots of support. And the other thing, it's not just the grip. With this shoe, it has such a wide base, so the stability is good. And if you're out here slipping and sliding or just worried about your foot placement, in a shoe like this, you don't have to be as worried because it's just way more planted and stable versus something like the Asics Metaspeed Sky Paris. Even though that does have a relatively grippy rubber on it, I'm gonna be more concerned about, is my foot going this way, is it going that way? If there's some mud, do I have to step off the road? And here's the thing, when it's lower visibility, if it's foggy, we went on a hike yesterday actually, and it was one of the foggiest things I've ever seen. The visibility was about 15 yards ahead. In situations like that, if you need to step off the road and you step into a neighbor's lawn, you don't want to roll your ankle because you're wearing a really narrow shoe. I actually did that a few weeks ago in the, I forget what it was, but one of the race shoes, I twisted my ankle because I had to step off the road onto the grass. I think a dog was chasing me actually, and it turned. So in this thing, not gonna roll your ankle, super wide base, great for all sorts of wet weather, great for dry weather. It's a fun shoe in any sort of weather. I actually used it in the snow as well, and it's a complete tank. So I highly recommend this for the rain, Puma Mag Max. Next up here, we're gonna do our waterproof pick. This is the Nike Peg Trail 5 Gore-Tex. So this has Nike's React X foam, same foam that's in the bottom layer of the Vomero, same foam actually that's in the Pegasus. And look at this, wow, I didn't realize how dirty this was. I must have used this for, I don't even remember what I used this for, but I guess we were actually hiking or something, because that is disgusting. But the grip on this is actually really good. It's called Nike's Trail ATC compound, or I guess that's kind of like saying ATM machine, because the M stands for machine and the C here. That was close for comfort. But the C here stands for compound, all-terrain compound. Now, Nike's trail shoes for a long time did not have the grippiest rubber, so what they did in the Peg Trail 5 and a lot of their recent shoes is either use this rubber which they designed from the ground up, HEC, or switch over to the Vibram, which is tried and true. So on this one, awesome road capability, and this is designed to be a road to trail shoe, and you can see here we were actually on some trails with it, but on the roads it's not too bad. Sometimes running in a trail shoe on the roads, it can feel thick and heavy. This is just thin enough to provide enough traction, but it's not gonna feel like a big heavy trail outsole. This performs great on the roads. This was actually my favorite Nike daily trainer until the Vomero came along, and the Vomero is essentially this, but with the ZoomX on top. They did a really nice job with that shoe. And then you also have the Gore-Tex upper on here as well, which will keep your foot completely dry. So if you want something that is going to keep your feet dry, and this is the classic debate, it's as old as the debate on do I go into the treadmill or do I go run outside and be a hero. I'm of the mind of I'm never a hero. If I have the option to run on the treadmill, I'm going to do that. But this debate is, do I go for something waterproof or do I go for something drainable? And that's a really big debate on the trail side, especially for longer races. And a lot of people go for drainability over the waterproof capability. But if you're walking or doing short runs in very heavy weather, I would say, man, go for that waterproof capability, especially for walking. Keep your feet nice and dry. This is a great option. The other thing is, it's usually on sale for under $100. I'm not sure of the prices right now. I haven't checked recently, but last time I checked, it was about, I can't say that without saying RIP Nipsey. Last time that I checked, it was about, and then it just plays again. I'm just not going to say that phrase again because every time this song plays in my head. You know those phrases? Like if somebody says it's getting hot in here, I guarantee you just filled in the blanks of the next thing. There's a lot of phrases like that if you listen to certain kinds of music. But the last time that I reviewed the prices on this, it was about $80. So really good deal. Holds up well for different types of runs. I actually did an 18-mile double day in it, and it was awesome. Nike Peg Trail 5 Gore-Tex. All right, let's go trip down memory lane here. A really old shoe. This thing is almost as old as the debate of treadmill versus road running. Adidas Boston 12. This is making the list because this was my favorite marathon training shoe for a long time, and I think this actually might have been the last shoe that I took to 300 miles because things shifted. When I first got this shoe, this channel was a lot smaller, but things have shifted now. I test a lot of running shoes. Is that the best for the growth of the channel? I don't know. I really don't know what's the best for the growth of the channel. A lot of days, that's why I'm out here getting rained on. But yeah, really durable shoe. It also has the Adidas Continental rubber on the bottom. Now, what I always found interesting is if you look at the way Puma does their thick grip versus Adidas, it's actually not raining as bad anymore, so I don't know if I need the rain jacket on the camera, but if you look at the way Puma versus Adidas does the grip, Puma always puts it out in more of a trail style, aggressive, nubby layout. It's similar to how Nike has it on the Peg Trail 5. Look at the teeth of these versus Adidas. They usually go with this pancake style layout. So flat rubber on the Continental, grippy on the Mag Max. I actually did a head-to-head with the Boston 12 and the Deviate Nitro 2. The Deviate Nitro 2 came on top for grip just because of the teeth, but this is an excellent shoe. And going back to what I was just saying about drainability versus the waterproof membrane, I've run in this thing in the most torrential downpours of my life, and it doesn't get heavier. That's the difference between this and something like the Mag Max. With a more traditional upper like the Mag Max, this is neither waterproof nor drainable, so it's actually not the best if you're trying to keep the shoe lightweight. But this one will shed all of that water. It is extremely hydrophobic, as they say. And also look at how good this looks for 300 miles. This upper almost looks brand new, same as the outsole here. This stuff is really durable. So that's what makes this one of my favorite rainy day shoes. I can put it on, or I could have put it on. I'm not going to put it on anymore because it's past 300 miles, but I can put this thing on and know it's going to handle any sort of run really well. I'm not going to be slipping, and no matter how heavy the rain is, the shoe will not get heavy, which is a great thing. All right, next up, let's do the last road shoe out here. Bang! Puma Deviate Nitro 3. This is almost a replacement for the Boston 12. Two very similar shoes. You get the top layer of race foam, bottom layer of standard training foam with the plate or the rods. Rods in the case of the Boston, plate in the case of the Deviate Nitro 3. Now, difference here is you have a higher drop. So the Deviate drop here is about 10 millimeters. Some people don't like it because of that. It can feel high drop, meaning the back can feel a lot higher than the front. But in terms of what I do like about this shoe, again, really good rubber layout. And it's crazy because the 2 had even grippier, more aggressive, thick lug nug teeth up here in the front that would just grip into the ground. I actually took it out on the Appalachian Trail, but this one is still solid. It grips really well. It's like the Boston. It's a flatter layout. It also is going to be really durable. Look at this. We have almost 100 miles on this thing, and it's holding up really well. And it's also a solid treadmill shoe because it feels relatively normal. So what I love this thing for, other than matching it, look at that. It's the Sunrise colorway, the Carolina Gold colorway. But what I love this thing for is for those faster daily runs when I want something that's elevated above a shoe like a Nova Blast or like a Vomero, but I don't want to go full Carbon County. This is one of those shoes where if you're going to have 2 or 3 shoes, you don't need this, but if you're going to have 5 or 6 shoes, it is nice sometimes to have a more fun daily option that is not the full Carbon County race shoe. That's what I love this thing for. It's great for those everyday runs, great for throwing down some strides or slightly faster paces. I don't love it for full workouts. Boston 13 is my favorite in the category of this more speed training, not full race day for running fast. But if you're running slower paces, 9, 10, 11 minute paces, you could use this as a speed training shoe. Or if you just don't like running in full carbon shoes, full race shoes for your workouts, this is gonna be a great option. All right, the rain is picking up, which means it's almost time to go inside. I did my run this morning. It's my lunch break right now. I did my run this morning on the treadmill, and I'm gonna do my second run of the day on the treadmill. No outdoor runs today. This is enough hero activity right now. Just getting completely rained on, so we're not gonna do the hero activity for the runs. And my favorite treadmill shoe, Hoka Mach X2. Maybe I'll even take this out this afternoon for some miles. This is just such a banger. It's versatile, it's reliable, it's comfortable, really thick and cushioned. And the reason it works so well on the treadmill is because you have that rocker, it has a narrower feel, and it's one of those shoes that's great for just running in a straight line. The stability isn't the worst, but it shines when just locking into a rhythm, getting a groove going. It's almost like the Prime X Strung in that sense, the OG Prime X Strung, where that bounce, the fun, the comfort, it comes with additional miles and just getting into that rhythm. It's very much a rhythm-based shoe. So really awesome pick for the treadmill. Also a great pick for long runs. It has this top layer of PIBA, bottom layer of training foam. It's got the plastic plate up here. You also can run in it outside. The grip is okay, but I would go for, if you know it's going to be raining a lot where you are, I would go for the Mag Max or really any of these other shoes because they have the excellent grip, or in the case of the Peg Trail 5, that has the full upper waterproofing. This is no waterproofing on this upper. It actually reminds me of the Boston 12 with how breathable and drainable it is. So there you go. Those are my 5 favorite running shoes for rainy days. And I'm getting rained on. It's not a bit. I have to film the intro still, so let me just do that. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. I make it rain, make it rain, make it rain on them bros. Make it rain, make it rain, make it rain on them bros. Another one would be if somebody says, "Can you get that over there from the windows?" You're immediately gonna say, "When the windows, wow, that a sweat drop down my, howdy, skeet, skeet, what up? Skeet, skeet, gosh dang, skeet, skeet, happy chugga, skeet, skeet, I got." What's another one? Oh, wait till you see. If somebody says wait till you see, I'm immediately going, wait till you see, ma. I wait till you see, ma. I. Come, baby girl, let me whisper in your ear. I got a little mileage that Johanna's there. Little John and the Mileage Boys.